All right, guys, welcome to day 37 of training to qualify for Tokyo 2025. On deck today, we have 3 times 400 meters times 2. We're taking it easy today in training in terms of volume. We are racing this Saturday at the Miramar Invite. We're racing a 600 meter, as I've said before in previous videos, and we're looking to perform really well there. This is a B meet, meaning it's worth a lot of points if we run fast and place well. So we're not going to work too intense today. We're gonna hit about 1 minute rest and 7-minute set break. If I can average under 60 seconds, that would be great. I'm not going to push it at all. Usually with this kind of workout, I'd be like tempted to kind of crank it, but not today. On another note too, I am actually very pressed for time today, so we're going to probably hop right into the workout from here. Have you guys ever had a stick of gum in your gym bag and like a piece of sand from your gym bag just like navigated its way inside the wrapper? And now every like 20 bites you chew on a piece of sand or a grain of sand. It's disgusting. Letting the days go by. Water flowing under. Same as it ever was. Same as it ever was. All right, guys, it's official. Lane 1 is no longer runnable. I'm very lucky that lane 2 to 8 are marked at the 400 meter mark. So we're doing repeat 400, so it's not a big deal. There's like 3 people here who I think are like, who work for Depot Park, and they're kind of evaluating the track like everything's okay. Guys, like, I almost got just completely whacked with when the wind blew and the whole fence just went like this, like up into the beginning of lane 2. And I'm lucky I moved out of the way in time. And these guys are just nodding their head around like everything is going to plan. And I'm not blaming them necessarily. It's just, it's so weird how like, like the liability in the States, like what you can get sued for, from what my assumptions are, is like way less than in Canada. Yet some of the safety standards here are just so much less as well. I don't even think it would have taken you that much longer to drill every single spoke in, wooden spoke, an extra 2-3 inches. Like the whole fence is like this now. Like, like I'm gonna have to watch out in lane 2. Anyways, this guy also, one of the guys, I told him that there's not enough markings on the track. I said there's no 300 meter mark anymore, there's no 150 mark anymore, and there's no 100 meter mark coming on the straightaway because there used to be 100 meter marks. And this guy goes on to tell me that we don't do 300 meter marks anymore. What do you mean? Yeah, you do. It was on here before. And he goes, no, people don't run the 300 anymore. I was like, yeah, no, I understand that. But they always have 300 meter marks. Like, I said, what about for the relays? Right? And he goes, it's like, they don't do 300 meter. And I was like, I don't think you understand what's like, I don't think he understands track well enough to have this conversation with me. But it is what it is. So I just like, oh, okay. But like, usually the track has a 300 meter mark. I'm not going to argue that like, high schools do 300 meter hurdles. I actually did argue and he said, no, they don't. And I said, oh, okay. To be honest, I actually don't know if they do that in America, 300 meter hurdles, but I know in Canada they do. And guys, I just know that every track has a 300 meter mark, but he's saying they don't. I mean, it is what it is. All right, guys, we had a quicker 100 meter stride at the end of that. We did it from a standing just so I can touch on that kind of 600 meter effort, quite a few days before my 600 meter. But that's the only one we're going to do from a standing start. My hamstrings feel so much better, but they do still feel very sore considering. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start all of my 400 meter reps from a rolling start. Typically, we start from a standing start, the first rep of each set. Doesn't matter what we do, but yeah, there's no reason to do that today. We're gonna rest up another minute and we'll get started on the 4s. Oh, one more thing too is we're trying to set very, very little to 0 expectations on the speed of these 4s. I am going just purely on effort, and I just want to feel good doing them. That's the goal of today. I'm feeling good doing 400s. All right, guys, we are back on the porch. Today's workout, it went okay. I feel like I worked, well, I know I worked way harder than I wanted to. For some reason today, I was struggling to breathe. I'm not sure. Well, I shouldn't say I'm not sure. It was hot out. It was probably the hottest day of the year, and I wasn't used to that. Furthermore, pollen's out, boys. Gainesville's pollen is like legendary. Starting about 48 hours ago, I was like, I've been sneezing a ton, and I don't sneeze often. And I thought, I was like, man, am I getting sick? Yet on those reps at Fred Cone Park, like I was breathing a ton, and I felt like the air wasn't getting in. I was like, it felt like I was close to passing out on the very last rep of the very last set. Like I had to sit down right away. My vision wasn't blurring or anything like that. The air just wasn't coming in. But besides that, everything felt okay. My hamstrings felt a little bit sore, my right one in particular, but we got a nice massage after. It was beautiful. At the track too, I ran into my old friend Davis. Davis actually made an Instagram reel for me a couple months ago, and it was a really good one. Davis is trying to be a videographer, and he specializes in kind of more of those action sequences in filming. So he's very good. But I digress. It is a beautiful evening here in Gainesville. Temperatures really died down. And it was kind of strange. Like Gainesville has this like weird climate. Like there's like not a cloud in sight. I shouldn't say not a cloud in sight, but the sun was out and blaring on me during my workout. As soon as I finished and I was driving home, between two intersections it was raining. And then when I passed those two intersections, it was sunny with a little bit of clouds again. Like, that's just Gainesville. I don't. It's one of the only places I've seen that have that. But for the rest of the evening, we are just going to go do our running weights, and we're going to do our elliptical, and then after that, we're going to do our recovery stuff. We got to get nice and ready for the Miramar meet on Saturday. So we're going to do all the usual things. We're going to stretch. We're going to use our game ready, and we're going to do a little bit of mobility. The running weights is a little bit of mobility, so that's nice too. So we're just going to relax and let all that training adaptation happen in my body. I'm going to be making sure to eat enough protein, and those kind of things. Avoid fiber starting tomorrow, just so I don't feel bloated when I race. So on that note, I'll see you guys next time.